3 separate companies from the area all working together to make it happen. I was impressed by that.
Each wall is about 10 tons of concrete. Good morning, welcome to the channel.
So they didn't pour on Tuesday as planned because they wanted to really strengthen the walls before putting that much concrete into them. And it's amazing how detailed it really is.
They made sure that there was a pin in every single hole.
There's hundreds of them.
Yeah, and that took some time. There was a couple of little gaps that needed to be shored up with plywood and 2x4s.
They used foam
just to make sure that no leakage was going to blow out.
Rich and I built this wall behind us, and it wasn't exactly plumb, I guess you'd say.
Plumb or square, or it moved, you know, with all the shotcrete work that was done, but I don't know.
At the bottom, it was a small gap, but as you got closer to the top, it almost got to 2 inches, I think, right?
Yeah, about an inch, inch and a half. One of the problems of not having plumb walls, a little bit of a gap. Can I come down now?
You okay?
So they had a little bit of a challenging time trying to fill that in.
Some screws and 2x4s and pulled it all together.
Yeah. They added more bracing for the fronts and the backs. They put nails at the bottom of the wall. They had that piece of wood, and where the forms met that piece of wood, he also nailed in a bunch of nails along that plate. They use these really cool nails.
Yeah, I think they're called duplex nails, Kathy.
You think, or you know, Richie?
They're called duplex nails.
They have two, like a double head on them, so they could be pulled right back out after they're done. And it also, the other thing I thought was really cool, I don't know about you, but they use like a little piece of wire, like when they put the nails into the rock.
Or concrete, wherever they had to drill into the concrete for a nail, or of that rock over there for a nail, they would just put a little piece of rebar wire in with the nail, and then they would hammer the nail in, and that would make it nice and tight.
The other thing I thought was really cool is that on these boards, they have like a spring thing.
Is it a spring or is it like a turnbuckle?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. So
but
yeah,
it's cool.
It's an adjustment. It's a threaded rod, and they could adjust the pitch of the wall wherever they want it.
And they were very precise with that too, because they know our goal is to put T111 across and kind of make these walls blend in as part of the house.
Right.
So they don't look like walls. They also worked a lot in the pit.
The pit, we call it the pit. That's
Yeah.
the area behind this wall where the two tunnels sort of come together. And it's a...
Scary spot.
it's a scary little spot.
And they said that's really hot in there. Safety was a main concern.
They put up all this scaffolding along the top of the wall so they could work.
They also put up safety railings.
And they have ladders that are secured with wire and ropes and everything to make sure they're not going to move. The entryway wall, they put a railing along the side of the ladder so they could get up and over it safely.
And down into the pit
and
to
down
work.
into the pit with another ladder on the other side, yeah. So the guys were good enough to help us out moving some of that fill so we can make room for the fill that's coming. There you go. Nice. There you go. All right, so we tightened this pile up a little better, so I'm happy about that. We're good to go now.
They were ready, so we were just waiting for a good day. In the meantime, while we're waiting, we worked a little bit on the side of the house. We kind of neglected them because we're not pouring those walls. They're going to be rocks.
And we had a weird driving rain at a different angle than it normally drives, and some water got in.
We're putting a chase down that area anyway, so Richie cut the floor back about 3 or 4 inches so that it's beyond the metal, because the water was getting in and getting under the floor a little bit. But we're not complaining because a lot of people, their houses were flooded and some things, roads are washed out. It was pretty bad up here. So we're happy that that's really all our problems. We'll work with it.
Yeah.
So Rich is putting this rubbery stuff.
See that gap? We're gonna fill that gap.
Somehow rain is getting through there and into our bedroom.
Probably from up top.
Yeah. So the recommendation was to fill it with this stuff. And then we're gonna just put a piece of the zip tape over it for now. Oh, please let me try. This is definitely good exercise. Wow. We're hoping to finish capping off those 2 other end walls. Yesterday was a good day. It was beautiful, like today.
They started pouring the retaining walls yesterday.
They had the pumper truck from Northwoods. Our cement company is Stephen Miller. And then they had the cement coming from Bonded. So it was 3 separate companies from the area all working together to make it happen. I was impressed by that.
And they all worked together pretty smooth too, didn't they?
They did.
They brought in 11 yards on one truck, and they poured the big wall and the side wall on the east side of the house there.
The walls are 12 feet high, and they're 12 inches thick. So it's a lot of concrete going in there.
In the back of the truck, there's a big hopper where the cement truck dumps the concrete, and then it pumps from that through that big giant arm, through all those pipes, and to the end of the hose. They poured the wall in 3-foot lifts. The guys have these vibrators, I guess they're called. It's crazy. Well, it just spins a big speedometer cable inside. So that vibrates the concrete. And that thing, one of them was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 feet long. So, it takes 2 guys to handle that thing and work it down into the cavity of the wall as they're pouring. So they would go to about 3-foot height. They would vibrate it all with the vibrator. Then they'd come up to another 3 foot, and they do the same thing. Should I have a hard hat on? Looks like it's holding great.
I got the best job today. Form watcher.
Form watcher.
Yeah.
So far,
sure
so
all the
good.
pins stay in, everything, nothing blows out.
They finished this wall pretty quickly and then moved around to the back wall, I guess you'd call it, on the other side.
We'll call it the east side?
Yeah, of the utility room.
Right.
While they started pumping that one, the guys here were doing something on top. They didn't do the keyway. What'd they do?
Well, they put in, they decided to put in some 2-foot like pins. They got some extra pieces of rebar just to help join the upper section of the wall here. And it will definitely hold. The guys troweled the top nice and smooth.
It's a lot of concrete. Each wall is what?
So we figured each wall is about 10 tons of concrete.
They didn't think they were going to have any concrete left, but Rich was prepared just in case. It definitely looks wonky. Kakai? I prefer wonky. Kakai'd?
Well, fill it up with stone. There's a lot of voids.
Mm-hmm.
Take it out.
It's great. Leftover.
From the garage. This
Right.
Put these pieces in.
Surprise.
But by the time we get the leftover concrete for the sidewalk area, the concrete is really starting to set up and get really stiff. So it was super hard to work with.
But you did a great job. We actually did get more than half of the sidewalk in front of the solar panels poured. One more pour to go.
Yeah, they're going to come back and they're going to do this shorter wall over here.
In one pour, right?
In one pour. And then they're going to go to this top sections of this wall and then the east wall. So there'll be some more forming that they have to do on these two before they get ready to pour that, because there's going to be a slope involved.
They're not taking any of these forms down. They're leaving them up because the new forms are going to be built right on top of the old forms.
Right, they should connect.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. We are on our way to finishing up these walls. We're pretty excited.
And then we can start the waterproofing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a big deal.
Not looking forward to going in the pit, but
it's got to be done.
We've got to go down there. So lots more to come. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video. My name is Rich.
And mine is Kathie.
And we are creating a simpler life here in the Adirondacks.
But simple doesn't mean easy.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.